The U.S. 2024 presidential election. Sorry. Anyway, starting off, in 2024, we have Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. It was, as we can pretty much see, it was a landslide. But then, the next year, Joe Biden won. So, what are we learning here? Yeah, it's gonna transition here. For this, let me quickly pull up my presidential election thing. And throughout all 6 elections, sorry, not all 6, we have all the elections going down to 2000 election, we are gonna have one state stay the same. Usually. Okay. Right now, for this, for all the states, let's start off with California, Washington, and Oregon. For all the elections, they were all Democrat. Which is a little scary because, you know. Next, let's start off with the Midwest, talking about, sorry, not the Midwest. How about Alaska and Hawaii? And Alaska and Hawaii stayed the same as they usually are. Now, how about Texas? Texas always stay red. Which is a little bit bad for our political vote here, but how about New York? New York, blue, 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 and blue. Blue again. So it's gonna stay blue. Right now, as you can see, the Democrats are winning pretty badly here. But then that's also gonna change because the Midwest didn't always stay blue the whole time. Didn't always stay red, that is. Next off, let's talk about Florida. In all the elections, as you can see, Florida is only went blue for 2 of the elections, so it will only stay somewhat red. How about Illinois? Again, Illinois stayed blue a lot. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania stayed mostly blue most of these elections, so it will stay mostly blue. How about Georgia? Again, the same thing with Florida. As you can see, we're coming into a little bit of a pattern here. These states are blue. These states are kind of blue. Right here. These states are mostly red, and Illinois is blue. Now let's talk about these uppermost states. For all of them except for Maine and New Hampshire, which New Hampshire is going to be somewhat blue, and same thing with Maine. How about New Jersey and those states? From New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, as you can see, they're all blue. All of them. They stayed blue all these elections, so they all will stay blue. And let's see about the District of Columbia. DC, 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 DC. And as you can see, District of Columbia is also blue. Also, Virginia stayed blue also. And how about North Carolina, South Carolina? As you can see, also, in all but one election, North Carolina stayed blue. But red. But, hey, South Carolina stayed red the whole time. Now, what about these states? And what I mean about these states is Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Tennessee. And as you can see, Indiana and Ohio. Indiana is only somewhat red. Ohio is less red. But all other three of these states is also now red. But now you can see that they're catching up here. The bar is that New York, California, and these states over here is why they're winning right now, and also the fact that they lost some states like Pennsylvania, which will be very nice for them later. Now, we're going to talk about this part of the Midwest. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Iowa, and Missouri. After a little bit of discovering, Sophia, it's name. Anyway, I'm not cutting that out, by the way. It's gonna be on YouTube now. Anyway, so for these states, and these states actually were blue quite a bit, as you can see. Here, blue, red, blue, 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 blue. They were just mostly blue. It was just not that they survived much. And Minnesota is also dark blue. How about these two states? They, most of the time, were red. Now let's talk about these states. Oh boy, I wanted to get to this. We only got a few more states left, so let's make this quick so I don't have to re-record this because I'm too cheap to get editing software. These 5 states. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, Nevada is mostly blue. Colorado and New Mexico mostly blue, and I believe Arizona too was only this. However, only this is red, but you know, only by the slightest bit. And yeah, that's pretty much it for those 5 states. But so now we still have to deal with all the rest of the Midwest. And speaking of the Midwest, we have to deal with Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Oklahoma. Oh, and let me guess, they're all red. Yeah, that's right, they were all red. And these states are going to be pretty damn easy. Because, you know, they're mostly all Trump supporters. So these mid-states are... Oh, that's right. Again, all red. Now, why do I make these so, like, you know... I made it so... very, you know... How do I say it? Suspenseful. Well, yeah, that's just how I managed to get most of my views, so... Congratulations, you officially found out what would happen over the course of the last 6 elections. The Democrats have won. And which makes sense, because in this election, Trump won. So Trump won. So Republicans won, Democrats won. Republicans 2, Democrats 2, Democrats 3, Republicans 3, Republicans 4, and I say some... Okay, that actually doesn't make sense, but I'm gonna be honest with you, none of this makes sense. Over the last 6 elections, these states are... This is the map of what it looks like over the last 6 elections. So yeah, GG. See you on the next election. How do I stop this stupid